So I think the question that I get the most often is, why am I doing music, right? Because I have a successful acting career. And I think everybody thinks that, like, when you're an actor and you're expanding into something like music, people think it's a hobby, and that's okay. Like, I get that, I totally understand that, and I totally respect that opinion, however wrong it may be. Because the funny thing about being an actor is that people watch you on television, they watch you in movies, but they've never met you. They don't know you. All of my friends know me as someone different than who I am on TV. I'm a good actor, which means that you've never seen me. You've actually never met me, right? Like, you've only met the characters that I play. So today's May 20th, which is my spiritual birthday. And I know a lot of people ask, like, what's your spiritual birthday? How does that differ from your actual birthday? Well, your actual birthday is the born day when your body came into this existence. I consider your spiritual birthday to be the day that you woke up. The day that you figured out that, yeah, you are a person, but you're also a soul having a human experience. You're a spirit having a human experience, not just a human having a spiritual experience, but you can also be a spirit who remembers that this is just a human experience. And that happened to me May 20th, 2009. I was in the hospital for off and on for about a month. And for this latest stint, it was like 12 days at that time. And I had a parasite that I got in Africa. I was doing a movie out there, and then I was, just being a gypsy, and I hung out and went to this Eswera, and which is like this beach town with a lot of expats and like these beautiful castles on the water, like the Venetians built, and it's so gorgeous. But we ended up going like to this spa and like just trying to like live like the Moroccans did, and my system didn't take it because I had a parasite. And this was a really bad water-based parasite. And it's called an amoebic antimicrobial parasite. And most people, when they have it, if they don't get treatment within 6 months, they die. I had it for 2.5 years. So automatically, I was a medical anomaly, and I should have been dead, 4 times, 5 times over, and I wasn't. But what happened was, it attacked my liver. I had a hole in my liver. It's called a liver abscess, like this old, ancient fucking disease that slowly kills you. And I lost 1 pound a day for over a month, and I was losing who I was and didn't have the strength to even stand up. And May 20th, 2009, I was on IV drip of the strongest drugs that the hospital had to offer. Then they found out it was a parasite, so they gave me this parasite medication, and I was allergic to it. And so I had an allergic reaction in combination with the amount of drugs in my system, and my vitals crashed, and I passed away. I died. And that's a whole long story, but what it does is it teaches you how to live. It teaches you how to live. And I can say this much: you're gonna have one question at the end of your life. One conscious question, like, like you think about family, you think about, is this it? You reach down in that place where you normally grab strength and nothing is there. There's a bottom, and you didn't even know you had a bottom. You had no clue that your own resolve for the most important thing in your life, which is your life, has a bottom. You're like, what the fuck? Hold on, no. I can stop this. I can hold on. I can save my own life. And then there's this little quiet voice from the universe that says, nah, not this time. Can't fight. There's nothing you can do. And that in and of itself is so disappointing. Like, you let yourself down at the most important moment of your life, which is like, I'm gonna save my life, and no, you didn't. And you're not strong enough, and this is not your destiny. There's something bigger than you that's gonna be like, this is it. And they say your life flashes before your eyes. It does not. It's more of like, you're part of this orb of existence where you can see and interact with all of the moments of your life all at once. And there's a lot of other things that happen, metaphysically and like spiritually, and all these things happen in geometric shapes and crossing over, and this sort of counterclockwise spiral of the human senses, sight, vision, touch, feel, smell, all these things going away from you. Not to mention your own ideas and thoughts and memories of who you thought you were. Your own identity is going away from you to something bigger and something different. And you realize that's also you. But there is one conscious thought that you have at the end of your life. And if this was interactive, I'd ask you guys to guess right now, but the last conscious thought that you have that is from your actual brain, that is from the brain of the human body, is, did I do what I was supposed to do while I was here? And my answer was no. So I died with regret. I died with disappointment. I died with anger and frustration, and I couldn't forgive myself. At the very end of my life, I had this dilemma, this me beating myself up for taking this assignment of life, this gift of life, and squandering it as I saw it. Didn't matter how much money I made, didn't matter how much sex I had had, or how many experiences I had had, or how many places I had traveled all around the world, or no matter if you looked at me and saw somebody who achieved his dreams, didn't matter. None of that shit mattered, because the one question that I asked myself, and that we're all gonna ask ourselves, did I do what I was supposed to do while I was here? Did I fulfill the agreement that my soul made with my body before I got here? I'm gonna say that shit again because it's deep. Did I fulfill the agreement that my soul made with my body before I got here, before my actual birthday? And if the answer is no, you ask yourself that question too late. And I knew that if I ever got up out of that bed again, and at a certain point in time when I had crossed over, I knew I was coming back, the only thing that was on my mind in my conscious thought was, you didn't try full force for a music career. And it was so fucking obvious. And if we sit here and we really think about like the question that you're gonna ask yourself at the end of your life, I guarantee you everybody actually knows what the answer is. Everybody knows what they're supposed to do. Most of us are just afraid to do it. Afraid of other people's opinions, afraid of our own opinions, afraid of the patterns that we've created, and stepping outside of these patterns of comfort and being uncomfortable, being laughed at, or being discomforted for too long. Like, most of us are in the pursuit of comfort. So most of us, when we get comfortable, like, oh, cool, that's it, good. Yeah, life's good. Nah. Because when you're 90, it's too late to do anything about it. I lucked out because I fucking passed away when I was 28 years old. And that gave me the perspective of a 96-year-old man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that gave me the perspective of somebody in hospice. Like, whoa. But still with the youth and the exuberance and the energy and the talent to still do something about it before it was too late. And that was May 20th, 2009. And I made a choice in that hospital bed that I'm not gonna fucking die like that again. I'm not gonna die with regret like that again. Not that same regret. And then, you know, life happens, and I had to get my shit back together. I was still on True Blood, and I was just trying to get my life back together, really, honestly. And then I kept working, kept getting jobs. And, you know, I didn't do the music. Then 2 years later to the day, May 20th, this is fucking crazy, but it's true. May 20th, 2011, I'm sitting in a car in Atlanta and a lady hits me going head on, 65 miles an hour. And I go into a coma. Very similar experience. Did you do what you were supposed to do while you were here? And this time it was different. It was more of an interaction with the universe. And the universe was like, hey, remember that time I killed you? And you ask yourself that question? I'm like, yeah. So what are you doing? I'm like, oh, this is connected. And so the universe just woke me up again, shocked me again, like, look, you made a choice. You made a deal with this body in this space and time that you're inhabiting, that you would do this because you have something to say that some other people don't have to say, or don't have a connection to the universe in a way that you do, so that you can bring messages across. So this is how you decided to do it, and I'm just reminding you that this is what you decided. And evidently it's so important that if I don't do it, it's gonna kill me or send me into a coma or do something to remind me. And this is not a coincidence. They're both May 20th, around the same time of day. It's not a fucking coincidence. I don't care what you believe, spiritually, doesn't matter, blah, 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 blah. Do the math to the day. And then on a lighter note, the next May 20th was May 20th, 2012. And I did my first earth medicine ceremony called ayahuasca. And it was the most beautiful experience I ever had in my life. Like, my younger brother had been murdered when I was 19, he was 17. And most of my 20s were filled up with the anger and pain and frustration and the confusion of that. And I realized I'd never even really been alive since that happened. Like, it didn't matter what I had achieved or what happiness I had or what woman I had in my life or whatever the case was, I was still coming from a foundation of sadness until that night. And I forgave the murderer. I forgave the experience. I understood why he had to go. All the bad shit that happened in my life, I got it instantly. I was like, what? Crazy. But it also said the same thing. It said two things. Mehcad, move to New York and do the music. And this time I was like, look, you've been telling me this for years. I've been thinking this for years. I don't know where to start. What do you want? What do you want from me? Like, what am I supposed to do? It gave me a dude's name. It said, you know this guy, right? I said, yeah. Start there. Ask him. I said, okay. And that was 6 years ago today. And since then, I have been overcharged, practically robbed, laughed at, had my feelings crushed, had my question myself, question if I was crazy, went broke over this shit. Like I remember there was a time I was in my house in the Hollywood Hills that I used to have, and half the furniture was gone after a party because I was just trying to forget about everything, and I had to wait for my homeboys to wake up so I could eat. And that's a hard place to be when you've achieved success somewhere else. And then you're willing to make yourself that uncomfortable for years because you know you have to do it. I don't recommend it for everybody. I definitely don't. However, I do recommend listening to that little voice that we all have, because it's the universe telling you, reminding you what you promised yourself you were gonna fucking do. And that's what May 20th is about. for me. It's just a reminder that all this shit can go away. But what's never gonna go away is the love and the resolve and the dedication that you should have to your true purpose. Whatever that is, whatever that might be. So that's why I'm doing music.